So before this video starts, I wanted to mention that 72% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Also abonniere jetzt, damit du in der Zukunft kein Video mehr von mir verpasst. Thank you. Yo, what's up guys? I'm here hitting you up with a new video. We finally got the patch notes. Let's discuss it real quick. So first up we have Mateo Prometheus, who's the new wind fighter DPS with a speed lead, which we will see on first day. So his whole kit is single target DPS. His first skill, Blast Burn, deals damage to one enemy 2 times based on attack. Each hit has a chance of inflicting Spark for 2 turns and dispelling buffs. We will discuss Spark in a second. But he has a Dispel effect. Ability to Fire Pillar, deals damage to one enemy 2 times based on attack. Inflicts Deceased and Defense down for 2 turns. Each speed increases damage by a certain percentage of attack. After Ascension, if the enemy already has Spark before attacking, Mateo gains some stacks of Eternal Flame. Which is really nice that Mateo actually, his damage scales with speed. That is very good. Very good and potentially very, very strong. I like it. Finally, a DPS unit which does not only scale with attack but also with speed. Ability 3, Fire Punch. Mateo gains some stacks of Eternal Flames, inflicts Spark on one enemy for 2 turns, then deals damage to the enemy 3 times based on attack. Each hit deals enemy buffs. Upon successfully stealing, grants Mateo some stacks of Eternal Flame. Each speed increases damage, blah blah blah. Each time healing is received, Mateo gains 1 stack of Eternal Flame. Eternal Flame undispellable. Each stack increases attack and reduces damage taken. Taking a critical hit removes several stacks, stackable with a limit, which is actually really good. So he has a self-sustain mechanism by just removing a couple of his stacks to not die immediately. Then also it increases his attack and he gets more tankier the more stacks he has. And then Spark, when the carrier takes a critical hit, increases Mateo's AP and deals extra damage to the carrier based on Mateo's attack. Won't miss, land a critical hit, or trigger an elemental boom. So that's the only part I don't understand. Land a critical hit or trigger an elemental boom, what it actually means, but it won't miss. So I think it will. I think it will always land as a critical hit. That's how I understand it, which is also very good because if he targets Inferno units, then he doesn't miss and he does his full potential. Then his resonance effects are R2. If the enemy has Spark, Mateo's crit rate up to 100%, which is okay, but to be honest, to apply Spark, you need to do S3 first. So you start with S3, right? So you actually want to have a high crit rate. So that really doesn't matter too much, his R2 effect. Then R4 is Lifesteal, who cares? And R6 is if Mateo has 10 or more stacks of Eternal Flame at the end of his turn, gains Stanter for 1 turn. Could be great, could be mediocre, who knows, but from what I'm reading here is that these are completely R0 unit, which is very, very good. And then obviously Izanagi Yamato is an interesting unit because we get all of him R0 copy for free, right? Ability 1. Deals damage to one enemy 2 times based on attack and max HP. Each hit has a chance of inflicting stun for 1 turn. I think it's similar to the event skill. Skill 2, Thunder Surge, deals damage to all enemy 3 times based on attack and max HP. Each hit has a chance of inflicting buff blocker for 2 turns. Consumes all stacks of Rashomon to deal extra 2 damage, which is based on the target's max HP and does not exceed a certain percentage of Yamato's max HP. After Ascension, absorbs the target's AP and distributes it evenly across all areas upon a crit, which is nice. So you want to have him on crit on a you want him on a bruiser build with crit rate and a lot of HP. And ability 3 grants all allies attack up and defense up for 2 turns. Yamato gains several Rashomon stacks based on the number of buffs on all allies. Rashomon, each stack increases crit rate, stackable with a limit. So quite interesting kit. We will have to see on first day about his multipliers, and then we can decide on how potentially strong he is. But he doesn't look too bad, but we will see actually how good he could potentially be. Resos R2, AP absorption cannot be resisted, interesting. Then upon a crit, 20% chance of dispelling 1 buff from the target, and R6 gains an extra turn. If we cannot farm that, that's like whatever. I feel like R2 might be good, but besides that, it's whatever, to be honest. Next big thing, the new legendary Shimmer Esper, Xuan Pin. Bear with me, her kit can be a little bit confusing. Xuan Pin is a support who can grant allies powerful buffs. Ability 1. Deals damage to one enemy based on attack, increases AP for all allies with Horse and Chariot. She has a lot of different names and buffs, so We will discuss that. So the allies who have a horse or a chariot, their AP is increased by a certain amount. Ability 2, Heavy Cannonade. Selects one ally, grants them cannon for 1 turn, increases their AP, deals damage to all enemies based on attack, inflicts defense down for 2 turns, dispels their shield. You know how strong that is? I will discuss that in a sec, because cannon is something. I talked to Energy yesterday and I called that effect. I predicted that effect to happen. So as free, Checkmate grants 1 stack of soldier to all allies, grants horse to 2 allies with the highest attack for 2 turns, deals damage to all enemies based on attack. This extra 2 damage based on the enemy's max HP doesn't exceed a certain percentage of Xuan Pin's attack, inflicts miss rate up for 2 turns. At the start of combat, Xuan Pin gains general and grants 1 stack of soldier to all teammates excluding Xuan Pin. After ascension, grants all allies attack up for 2 turns. She's so loaded. General. Underspell. When Xuan Pin attacks, calls 1 random teammate with soldier excluding herself to assist and grants them 1 stack of soldier. Clears horse, cannon, chariot and soldier from the ally upon death. Chariot, undispellable, increases attack and speed, gains 1 stack of soldier when this effect expires. Cannon, undispellable, dealing damage, ignores a certain percentage of defense, gains stun when this effect expires. That's the effect I called defense ignore buff. Horse, amplifies damage dealt. The higher the target's max HP, the more damage is amplified. This effect does not work when the target is at an elemental advantage. Soldier, each stack increases attack. When the effect is at full stacks, converts it into chariot for 2 turns, cannot gain soldier while having general or chariot stackable with a limit. R2, change heavy cannon at the carrier of cannon, no longer gains stun when the effect expires. R4, plus 20 speed. R6, a new effect is added to general, grants 1 stack of soldier to all teammates at the end of Xuan Pin's turn. So basically, Xuan Pin is a unit which tells us Lilith wants to remove the tank meta and wants to reintroduce cleaving to the game, because her whole kit is designed as a support for cleave teams. She's like, if you look at R2 for S2 for example, selects 1 ally, grants them cannon for 1 turn, which has a defense ignore effect, increases the AP. I assume that max skilled it will be 100%, deals damage to all enemies based on attack, and inflicts defense down for 2 turns, dispels their shield. So if they have a shield, the shield is removed. Inflicts death break on the whole team. And then, let's say you have a Gaius, your Gaius gets 100% AP, has an attack buff because of maybe S3 or Unis or whatsoever, and then you have a defense ignore effect as well. Insane. And then with her S3, the soldier, that's the assist feature, then grants horse to 2 allies with the highest attack for 2 turns. It's designated to give it to the highest attack. That's actually, they made it so that your DPS, your cleave units like Gaius for example, or Leora or something like that, gets that horse buff, and that horse buff again is amplifies damage dealt. The higher the target's max HP, the more damage is amplified. This effect does not work when the target's at an elemental advantage, so it does not trigger on wind units for example. But she's just a unit which is designed to support cleave. Very good unit. We have to see on first day also what her captain ability is all about. We will see that. Then new features added: Celestial Anomaly. The theme of Celestial Anomaly S1 is the Withering Flame. The season has 3 phases, with the first phase being unlocked in this version. The Celestial Anomaly contains combat, power supply, advanced strategy, imaginary quest, strategic fund, event task. By participating in this activity, you can acquire the limited Esper Yamato, Izanagi, non-shimmer legendary Esper ripples, limited range and self-selected shimmer records and other growth materials. Combat in this season, the miracle, so you get Yamato for free basically. In this season, the miracle boss Chimera and 3 miracle messengers will appear after the update. The boss Chimera first form and the Wither messengers will be unlocked for you to challenge. Points will be calculated based on the damage you dealt to the miracle boss. You will get a corresponding reward based on your best record in a single challenge. Additionally, points will be ranked on the group and world leaderboards, offering blah 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 blah. Each phase has a different form, and so on and so forth. Then each messenger contains 150 floors, stages, and offers rewards such as crow marks, divine essences, and non-shimmer legendary Esper ripples. limited range and self-selected. Guys, Ripple boxes return. Yes. Yes. Nice. Clearing the stages will enhance the quality of resource, blah blah blah. Advanced strategy contains strength points. It's basically all the supply thing is the strategy and how to make your unit stronger for this event, to be honest. That's all it is. You can read through that yourself and we will see. I mean, I cannot explain everything here. Event tasks during the event, quests related to Celestial Anomaly that offer divine essence as a reward will be added. Strategic fund, here staff purchase, blah blah blah. New frames, Esper cards, yada yada yada. Added Ultimate Spire ranking frames limited for each phase of Celestial Anomaly, so Celestial Anomaly will be part of the Ultimate Spire. Then we have the new event with a lot of goodies. We get gold chips, platinum chips, which we can exchange for packs. Used to select and obtain non-shimmer epics. Yeah, you can basically choose your epic Esper. Stuff we all know. All things aside, what you can do, new reincarnation tower opens up. Then here's the interesting thing. So the Raider banner will be Zora and Prometheus. So if you don't have Zora, I don't think you really need her. I don't think so. Mateo looks great in my eyes, so we will see. And then here's a big thing. Limited time probability up event for Xuan Pin. So the new Shimmer Esper, which will be released as a raid up. So if you're close to pity and you like to cleave, go and get her. Added guarantee mechanic to probability up Esper acquisition in Shimmer Pool. So I read through this. Basically what it means, it's the same as SSM. So if you have a raid up, let's say for Xuan Pin, you go to pity, you don't get her, then it resets back to 100, and the next time you get a Shimmer Legendary animation, it's 100% guaranteed, which is nice. Nice addition. Takes probably long as fuck time, but nonetheless, nice to have it, right? Optimize point warp. Power of the defense formation will be displayed. Tap the opponent, blah blah blah. Frame and name card will be displayed on the gameplay screen. Tapping the player's avatar on the liberty screen will display personal info, including the defense formation. Okay, the required amount to claim 5 victories for unlocking quick battle has been removed, so you can blitz immediately. Basically the same thing for knockout. And one thing, if you didn't deploy a defense, they will automatically deploy a defense for you. Players can convert materials directly when viewing story mode details in the inventory. Players can still purchase random wish stickers in the friend shop even after reaching the acquisition limit for wish stickers of any elemental class in the club. Players will only lose a wish sticker if they have reached the storage limit for randomly obtained sticker, which is good. Finally, we don't max out on one sticker like wind or something, which is good. Battle results obtained through Blitz and Dezo will be recorded in squads, but finally it was about damn time. You can claim all from the E-Pass, and the refresh cooldown of DJ contest will be reduced to 23 hours, and really no one really cares. So that's it for the patch notes. What do you guys think? I feel like Mateo looks great to me. Xuan Pin looks very interesting, and her kid. Curious how much Xuan Pin offers to as a support, like for cleave units that might be like cleave is back, and they're really trying to push a cleave meta again. They're trying to get rid of the tank meta. Izanagi, we will see how good he actually is with multipliers and stuff like that. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Till Thursday when the PTR is live. Bye bye. Ciao.